बोल Good afternoon. Apruva,
Good afternoon, sir.
you are wonderful.
Thank you, sir.
And I tell you, it's God's blessing.
Yes, sir.
You have a beautiful smile.
Thank you.
And that's what we need. And we're going to talk today the brain cancer. Brain cancer, brain. Brain which is given to us by the Almighty God. This has more than 100 billion cells, 100 billion neurons. It is the biggest computer which each one of us is given. We don't even appreciate when a baby is born unconditionally, and that computer is growing. And as it is growing, and as we are grown, and as you are grown, you have got a computer that 100 billion neurons. It's amazing. You have the whole library of the world inside your mind, in your brain. Not in your mind, but in your brain. Now, we have more than 1 million people who suffer from brain cancer. Sometimes it's only a benign. Benign means it is not all the way cancer, but early stages. We call it benign. Now, what are the signs and symptoms, regardless whether it's a benign or malignant? The first thing, person sometimes get a headache, and a headache could be one-sided. It could be in the front, it could be on the side, it could be in the back, and later on it could be a frequent headache, too many times a headache. Person could have vomiting, nauseating feeling. They could have eye problem. Their vision get defective. They cannot see. Sometimes they have a dizziness. They can also get convulsion. Convulsion means, I call in the medical terminology, they call it epilepsy. It's because of the pressure onto the brain. They can have a stroke from one side or both sides, or could be total paralysis of the whole body. Couple days ago, I saw a neurosurgeon, and he has just a one tumor in his brain, and it was removed. And he had on the left side hand, he has tremors, and he could not talk very well, because that can also produce that because of the brain cancer or brain tumor. And he had tremoring in his hand. A very nice man, a gentleman. And I told him what to do and what to eat, what exercise he should do, told his wife. And also on top of that, I told him how to become conscious. Because once he learns how to become conscious and start putting the right nutrition in his body, that means cut down the salt, the sugar, and the milk product, and start doing the exercise, the body produce serotonin, endorphin, gamma globulin, and produce special kind of plasmogen stuff in your mind, in your brain, which produces what we call neurogenesis, neuroplasty. That means new cells will be coming, new neurons will be making, and as it is making new neurons, his tremors will be gone. And I can assure you, in a 1 week or 10 days, his tremors will be gone. Now, how to make a diagnosis of this brain tumor? And the diagnosis is made by, naturally, first the history. The person gives symptoms, and the doctor examines that person, and they examine the eyes, or they examine all the musculoskeletal system, and after that they do a blood test, CBC, and see the blood, liver test, and so urine test, and so on. Then they also do what we call the brain X-ray and the brain MRI, we call it MRI, or the CT scan of the brain. CT scan of the brain. So they make a diagnosis. Now the question is, if there is a tumor in the brain, it has to be removed, because it will produce a pressure in the brain, and that's where you get all the symptoms, that the headache, the vomiting, the paralysis, and your eye problem. So it has to be removed. I know I have seen many glioblastomas. It's a very dangerous tumor. into the brain. Person cannot live more than 3 to 5 years. Some of them I've seen die in 1 year. The problem what happened there is that tumor has been removed and then they have given a chemotherapy and radiotherapy. Now, I know when I was in practice, you're talking 80s, I've seen person with a glioblastoma, and we have changed their diet. That means stop all the salt, the sugar, and also give them what you call no milk product, and give them sprouted food, wheat grass, and we also give them that plant food, what you call that, made up of chutney, which I was described in the previous video, and they end up living between 3 to 5 years. Some of them lived longer even. But again, do they really need chemotherapy or radiotherapy? That's a very broad question. I feel personally myself that they have to try everything else first before they end up joining the radiotherapy or the chemotherapy. Most time these radiotherapy and chemotherapy are going to produce side effects, and you will lose your hair, you will lose your immune system. Now we have learned the human body at a cellular level that we can increase our immune system in our body naturally, and the body also has a built-in immune system. But again, at the top of that, every patient who has brain tumor or brain cancer, they should always work with their doctor. And because the doctor has to learn, doctor has to work with them so they can live the healthiest life and the maximum life what nature has given us. And we request all of you to visit our website, watch our what you call the videos, and learn from it, and work with your doctor. We are here to educate everybody and help Mother India to wake up so that we can take advantage of this body which nature has given us, which has a self-induced healing. It has a bioimmunological properties. It is a super intelligent, anatomically, physiologically,